best and brightest local high school teams compete in a tournament of knowledge for a trip to Europe on this year's hottest game show, Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by AT&T, Oracle, the San Mateo Credit Union, Samtrans, and Fisher Investments. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Welcome to Quiz Kids. Hope you are here to enjoy a nice half hour of questions and answers. We have two incredible teams. Let me introduce them now. Over here, Great Scott, it's the Carlmont Scots. And over here we have the San Mateo High School Bearcats. So teams, let's begin now with the collaboration round. Welcome, Quiz Kids. Welcome, teams. In this first round, you will play as a team. I have a series of 10-point questions here. I'm going to ask your team a question and give you a few seconds to collaborate, and then ask your captain, Kim or Jeremy, to tell me the correct answer. Do so, and you will get 10 points. If you do not give me the right answer, I will let the other team collaborate and possibly steal those points away from you. We will ask the questions, question by question, back and forth until the buzzer signals the end of the first round, okay? Good luck to both teams. Carlmont, you get the first question. Many consider him a war hero, though his critics have sought to prosecute him as a war criminal for incidents related to the Sabra and Shatila massacre during the 1982 Lebanon War. What founder of the Kadima party was declared incapacitated after a January 2006 stroke, making him unable to continue as Prime Minister of Israel?
Ariel Sharon.
That's right, for 10 points. Bearcats, your first question. One of her ancestors took the voyage on the Mayflower, and she was also related to FDR through the Delano family. What columnist for the Missouri Ruralist wrote about growing up on the frontier and marrying Almanzo in the 8 novels of her Little House series?
That'd be Laura Ingalls Wilder.
That's right, for 10 points. The losing country in this conflict call it La Guerra del 47, or the War of 47. The battles of Cerro Gordo, Chapultepec, and Buena Vista were fought during what 1846 to 1848 war against a southern neighbor?
The Mexican-American War.
That's right, for 10. They each contain a cortex and a medulla, as well as sinuses, but are nowhere near the head. The renal arteries carry blood to what pair of organs that filter waste from the blood and empty that waste into the bladder?
Kidneys. That'd be the kidneys.
That's the kidneys, yes. Carlmont, very much embroiled in the affairs of the times. He was present at Cardinal Richelieu's siege of La Rochelle, and the condemnation of Galileo in 1633 led him to abandon his plans to publish his treatise on the world. What man who died after becoming a tutor to Sweden's Queen Christina also wrote the Discourse on Method, in which he inferred existence from thinking?
Descartes.
René Descartes, that's correct. San Mateo, this same name fits the description of events that took place in 1135 and 1212, and to a raid by the Luftwaffe in 1940. What also names the 3-day natural disaster started in a baker's shop in Pudding Lane that destroyed St. Paul's Cathedral before being extinguished in 1666?
The Great Fire.
The
Great London Fire.
That is right. That is right. 10 points. The Bose and Fermi types are quantum mechanical versions, whereas the one you've probably studied is the classic thermodynamic type. Compressibility measures how far a gas deviates from what equation that combines Boyle's and Charles's laws and is usually written PV equals nRT.
The ideal gas law. The ideal gas law.
That is right, for 10 points. His Nebti name translates as one of perfect laws who pacifies the two lands. His Horus name translates as the strong bull, pleasing of birth. What pharaoh reversed the reforms of Akhenaten and moved the capital back to Thebes, but is mainly known for his unplundered tomb?
Yeah.
King Tut.
That is right, Tutankhamun. That signals the end of the first round, and we have a tie score, 40-all. That's a very good beginning. Stay tuned. We will meet our players. We are back. Great Scott, it's a great Scott. Sitting in the audience, look at that kilted gentleman, very noble and distinguished. Do you know how he got here? He called 650-637-1936, and we sent him a ticket just like anybody else who would like to do the same. Bring your kilts. We have no discriminatory policy against men in dresses, and it looks very nice. Speaking of the Scots, welcome back Carlmont and Kim Chang. You are a senior.
Yes.
I guess it's very exciting senior year.
Extremely.
And part of that is, learning leadership skills. And I can't think of anybody who's more in a leadership position than the stage manager of the school play.
Yes.
And you are stage managing the musical at Carlmont. What is that show?
We're doing 42nd Street.
Very challenging and fun show. How's it going?
Pretty well. Lots of tap dancing, lots of people jumping around. It's lots of fun.
Yeah, you said that like a true stage manager, like, would you please all stop moving around? I got to get the sets in place and things like that.
That would be a dream if the actors would just stop moving and be quiet.
Yeah. Now that's a true stage manager. Well, I wish you a good luck and broken legs to your dancers. Peter van der Poorten.
Hello.
Hey, Peter. You are a scout.
Yes, I am.
And you have recently completed your Eagle Scout project.
Actually, no, I'm still working on
You're
it.
still working on it. Well, good, because it's a scary project. It involves bats.
Yes, I'm building bat houses to put in San Carlos parks in order to help the bat population get back up to better levels.
Yes. Now, you said to me before that once a year a person is bitten and gets rabies, dies of rabies shot.
Yeah, one person a year dies of rabies.
Yeah, once a rabies. Now, you're building houses to raise that level of
Not
people.
exactly.
Or are you just giving them homes to rest in when they bite us?
Well, the good thing about having bats around is they eat mosquitoes, which can carry nasty things like West Nile, which more people die of than rabies. So it's sort of a...
Okay, so I can choose between West Nile and rabies. Thank you, Peter. Good luck. Sean O'Loughlin. Sean, you pondered what you were going to talk about. You don't seem to feel you're a very interesting person.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot.
But you sing. You're in the school choir.
I'm in choir.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been in chamber singers, which is the most advanced choir, since I was a freshman.
That means something really good and interesting.
Yeah, but there's not a lot to talk about other than
Do you guys get to travel around?
Yeah, actually, this year we're going to New York.
Yeah, you have nothing to talk about. Gosh. That sounds really fun. Good luck there.
Thanks.
Let's give a big hand to your coach, Patricia Bronstein. And we say hello to the San Mateo Bearcats and Captain Jeremy Blackman. You are a senior. You were here last year.
Yeah.
But now you're going to go off to school, after school. And in order to earn money for school, you've got a job after school.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I cater on the weekends.
Yeah.
And I basically started doing that this summer. I got connected.
Like weddings, bar mitzvahs, things like that?
Yeah, it's basically like we've been doing a lot of weddings, and I guess we could do other things. But yeah, it's pretty grueling. It's usually like 10 or 12 hours.
Yeah. Tell me, do you ever sneak a hors d'oeuvre?
Yeah, I guess when no one's looking. I mean, we always make so much food, and usually people at the wedding just occupy themselves.
Okay, that might have lost you the job, so I'm realizing
I hope
this.
they're not watching.
Yeah, don't watch. All right, Frank Liu.
Hi.
Frank, you are very much into biotechnology.
Yeah.
In fact, right now you're doing an independent research project. What is that?
Basically, I'm researching alternative energy, specifically ethanol. It's basically the biotechnology program. The final step of the San Mateo biotechnology program is a independent research, and I chose alternative energy, ethanol production.
Do you work with local companies to get information? Or?
We work with everyone that we can get, basically. It's the teacher doesn't actually tell you what to do. It's very student-based.
Well, it's much needed research, so good luck to you on that project. Jordan Patchouli, you're a sophomore. You're the baby on the stage. How do you feel about that?
It's a little intimidating.
Yeah, don't be intimidated. Now, you take French.
I do.
And San Mateo is about to host a large group of French exchange students.
Yes.
One of them is going to reside at your home.
They are.
So what are you going to do to make that student feel at home?
Well, we've got him his own room,
Yeah.
and we plan on taking him around the Bay Area and showing him all the things that the Bay Area has to offer.
What's his name? Pierre, Jacques,
Boris.
Boris.
Yes,
Boris.
I suppose so.
Good. Well, make him French toast and he'll feel happy. That's actually probably a misnomer. Anyway, let's give a big hand to your coach, Jared Wilkie. And would you all say bienvenue to our judge, Frank Saboti. All right, don't go away. We'll be right back with more Quiz Kids. Hands on your buzzers, it's time for the lightning round. The questions are still worth 10 points, but this time you're playing with those buzzers in front of you. The first person to buzz in when you hear the question gets to answer for your team. If you give me the correct answer, you will score the points. If you give me an incorrect answer, however, the other team will be allowed to collaborate, possibly steal those points away. If you buzz in before I complete the question, you will have to answer with the information you've been given. If you give me the wrong answer, I will complete the question for the other team. The score is 40-40. Close game. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first question. Secant squared of x is the derivative of which basic trigonometric function? Frank.
Tangent.
Correct. In 2006, what baseball team became the first ever to start an entire outfield of 40-year-olds with Steve Finley, Moises Alou? Yes, Jeremy.
That'd be the San Francisco Giants.
Correct. The 1986 Nobel Prize-winning economist shares his name with the man who was the only bachelor and Pennsylvania resident to hold his position. What Secretary of State under James Polk negotiated the 1846 Oregon Treaty with Britain and was elected president on the Democratic ticket in 1856? Yes, Sean.
Millard Fillmore.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can steal, gentlemen.
That'd be Buchanan.
That's right. She identified St. Catherine, St. Margaret, and St. Michael as the source of her revelations, and Pope Calixtus III authorized her retrial, after which she was declared innocent 25 years after her death. What commander captured... Yes, Sean.
Joan of Arc.
That is right. While known for his literary endeavors, his study of human jawbones was a big inspiration to Darwin. What German author of elective affinities... Yes, Jordan?
Johann Wolfgang von Goethe.
That is correct. Because violin strings are fixed at their ends, those points become what kind of place where the induced standing waves have zero amplitude? Yes, Kim.
Node.
Right. The trial of two appointees of the King of Bavaria led to what 1618 incident sparking the 30 Years' War in which they were thrown out a window? The Defenestration of Prague. The Wyandot or Wendat are two original names of this indigenous people of North America, whose more well-known name was given to them by French explorers. What First Nations people that lived along the St. Lawrence River allied with the French... Yes, Sean?
Iroquois.
No, I'm sorry. Allied with the French against the Iroquois and gave their name to a great lake?
Huron.
That is right. As a measurement, it is slowly being superseded by the millesimal fineness system, in which the purity of precious metals is denoted by parts per thousand of pure metal in the alloy. What five-letter homophone? Yes, Kim.
Carat.
Yes. The singer, in an active apostrophe, implores the song's title object to keep this party polite and to never get out of his sight, but fears that even though the pickings have been lush, before the evening is over, he might get the brush. What is this song? Yes, Sean.
Luck Be a Lady.
That is right. Her story, The Professor, is based upon her experiences in Brussels, where she studied as a language student in 1842. What author who used the pseudonym Currer Bell to publish her poetry is better known for novels like Villette and Jane Eyre? Sean.
Bronte. Charlotte.
Lucky you. What number of pounds in a British stone is also the number of Stations of the Cross?
16.
No, I'm sorry. And of diplomatic points outlined in 1918 by Woodrow Wilson?
14.
14.
That is right. In architecture, there are several types, including the rib, the groin, and the barrel. What 1.2 meter long object is set 10 centimeters higher for men than women and is used with a springboard? Yes, Kim.
Center of gravity.
No, and is used with a springboard in gymnastics.
Pommel horse?
No, it's a vault, meter long. As an expatriate with her brother Leo, she became a noted art critic and compiled one of the first collections of Cubist art. What author of The Making of Americans and Three Lives spent 40 years in Paris with longtime companion Alice B. Toklas? Gertrude Stein. In the comic strip and comic books, he was also known as Sunny Boy and Mean Man, though his first appearance was in the theatrical animated series created in 1933 by Fleischer Studios. What is the name of the big guy who hates Popeye? Popeye's main nemesis, who also has a thing for olive oil.
Bluto?
That is right, Peter. That signals the end of the round. Let's look at the score. We are still tied, 100 to 100. We will be right back with the final round. Let's see what happens. Don't go away. Beam me up, Scotty. It's the extreme lightning round. Point values are doubled. The play stays the same, 100 all. Let's see what happens. Good luck, teams. What war was documented in photographs by Matthew Brady? Kim.
Civil War.
Yes. 28 researchers who worked at his namesake physical sciences lab have gone on to win Nobel Prizes. What Englishman discerned Ohm's law before George Ohm, discovered hydrogen, and measured the specific density of the Earth using a torsion balance? Henry Cavendish. Andy Pettit, Roy Oswalt, and Roger Clemens all pitched for what tech? Yes, Sean.
Yankees.
What?
Yankees.
No, I'm sorry. What Texas-based team that lost the 2005 World Series?
That'd be the Houston Astros.
That's right. 168 years after he delivered his famous Divinity School address, Harvard Divinity School announced the establishment of a professorship named for him that will be occupied starting in 2007. Who was this Unitarian minister that wrote about transcendentalism in his work Nature? Peter.
Thoreau?
No.
Emerson.
Yep. The only other one. For water, about 4.6 torr and 0.1 degrees Celsius marks what point at which it's gas? Frank.
Triple point.
Correct. In his public service career, he has been legal advisor to the U.S. House, and he co-authored the draft of defense planning guidance with his former professor, Paul Wolfowitz. In October 2005, charges of perjury and obstruction of justice were made against what then Chief of Staff to Dick Cheney involved in the Plame... Yes, Kim.
Karl Rove.
No. Involved in the Plame affair.
Scooter Libby.
That's right. Optimism is the subtitle of what novel about the valet Cacambo, the maid Paquette, the lovely Cunegonde, and Dr. Pangloss by Voltaire? Candide. It is sometimes called the River of Grass because of the slow flow of water from Okeechobee southward and the predominance of sawgrass. What national park south of the Big... Yes, Jeremy.
The Everglades.
Correct. It gained immediate popularity as it was the first Dickens novel ever adapted for musical theater and launched the... Yes, Sean.
Oliver Twist.
I can accept the yes. Yes. Oliver and Oliver Twist. Right. Sorry. The four children he has with Jocasta are not part of the original myth, but yes, Kim.
Oedipus.
Right. Nephology is the study of what atmospheric phenomena that can be classified into stratus, cirrus, yes, Jordan.
Clouds.
Correct. Frogs, lice, flies, pestilence, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, bloody rivers, and the death of the first. Yes, Sean.
10 Plagues.
That's right. Or a very bad episode of Quiz Kids. Anyway, it was inspired by lead singer Isaac Slade's experience working at a camp for troubled teens. It was first used on TV in an episode of Grey's Anatomy, in an episode of Scrubs, and on MTV's The Hills. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night. Are lyrics to what #1 song by The Fray? Yeah, Jordan.
How to Save a Life?
Correct. A modus tollens argument proving if P, then Q, uses the equivalence of that implication. And what derives statement of the form if not Q, then not P? Sean.
Counterpositive.
Say again.
Counterpositive.
Counterpositive. Oh, can I accept that? My judge is saying yes, contrapositive or counterpositive. Okay. An alleged self-portrait of him exists in his Adoration of the Magi at the Church of Santa Maria Novella in Florence. While first apprenticed to a goldsmith, he was later sent to work for Fra Lippo Lippi. What Florentine painter of the mystic nativity created the allegories Primavera and the birth of Venus? Yes, Kim.
Botticelli?
That is right. We have less than a minute to go. Milady de Winter, an agent of Cardinal Richelieu, is outwitted by Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. Kim.
The Three Musketeers?
Right. The hydrogen atom's second and third quantum numbers relate to what quantity that classically equals moment of inertia times angular velocity? Angular momentum. In 2002, Brittany Cecil died after being struck by what kind of 1-inch thick, 3-inch diameter black disc of vulcanized rubber that can be iced? Sean.
A hockey puck.
Correct. When he was designated heir to the throne in 1969, he was not given the traditional title of Prince of Asturias, but rather one more representative of his country as a whole. What European ruler who claims the title King of Jerusalem through the royalty of Naples is a grandson of Alfonso XIII and the King of Spain? Juan Carlos I. That signals the end of the game with 240 here and 260 here. Carlmont wins the game. And we wish you guys a great year. Thank you for playing. You were great. We will see you in our second round in a couple of months. Join us each week for Quiz Kids. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
The following underwriters helped to make this program possible: AT&T, Oracle, the San Mateo Credit Union, Samtrans, and Fisher Investments. Tournament champions will win an all-expense paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS. Additional support provided by these Bay Area newspapers: the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, the Knights Templar, and National Academic Quiz Tournaments.